live. There we go. Hey, how goes it? Whew, I'm Ken Bozak here to talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin accessories. And today I'm with my bro, Erin Nakamoto. How goes it?
It goes good. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm just settling into the new place. Just moved, so I got to finish setting up all of this and try to situate a good backdrop. But other than that, it's been pretty chill. I just got to hang out and do a meetup in Philly with Annalise from Bits and Tokens, and Crypto finally. Rachel stopped by to say hi, so we all got to hang out and have some drinks and get some munchies, and it was cool. What you
Nice.
been up
That sounds
to?
awesome. Just planning meetups and events and working on Anarcho Vegas and Crypto Vegas and building Flote. So that's kind of just been like my focus and my grind. And yeah, I have a ton going on. I just announced our Las Vegas Bitcoin meetup HODL Day party.
I
So
like Hodl Day. That's actually I hope you trademark these terms.
no, but I love it. So like my wedding website is like to have and to hodl.com and yeah, I don't know. It's fun putting little play on words sometimes.
Yeah, especially in the crypto space, we're such an early, state of, I guess, building an industry that new terminologies have to be created to associate with the new environments.
Yeah, exactly. So it's always a good time. But I don't know. I honestly I was thinking about meetups, right? And how you kind of really showed me the way to throw a proper meetup. Like I remember the first meetup that you and I met at. It was at one I threw at Distill. Like what was that, last year? And you're like,
Yeah, you
well,
showed me the Bitcoin ATM in the bar.
yeah,
I remember that.
yeah. And you're like, let's make content. And I'm like, I'm not a content creator. You're like, no, let's make some content. And
Yes.
you're like, stand here. I'll show you how to do it. And like you really started me off on my whole like journey. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome, and I'm excited to see how far everything has come since those early meetup days in bars. Like you're organizing much bigger events. You've done Anarcha Vegas, and now you're working on, the Hodl Day events. And dude, that's pretty ballin'.
Yeah, I feel like I've scaled a little bit, so it's good. But honestly, during the bear market last year, I think my biggest meetup was like 60 people, and I was so excited because I was like, oh, I can't wait for the bull market to see how many more people show. Yeah, it's been really fun. I actually just recently took over the Crypto Mondays Las Vegas chapter too. So there are going to be a lot more meetups coming out in Las Vegas. So anytime you're out here, let me know and we'll do something together.
Will do. I actually might be out there for the AVNs, the adult films event. So
Right, in January, right?
exactly, I'll be out in Vegas for that most likely. I don't just go to crypto conferences, guys. But yeah, I'll definitely hit you guys up. But let's dive a little. Oh, shout out to everybody in the chat. What's up, Investor Militant, Life Size Box, Biggs? How goes it, bro? Bagsy's in the chat. Yo, Bagsy, how goes it, bro? All right, so let's dive into Float and just talk about, I guess, like the inception of it, the inspiration behind it, and then we can dive into what Flote.App is.
Yeah, let's do it. So the inspiration kind of around Float was it really started from watching our friends who are content creators be like so destroyed on YouTube. We watched like one of our friends, his income go from like 10,000 for a video to like $150. So it's like he really just got screwed. Like I don't know if you know Luke Rudowski.
Yep.
So Luke actually just posted a photo of his video of him and Jeff Berwick sneaking onto Epstein Island, and it finally reached 1 million hits. And the revenue that he got from that video that got 1 million hits was $15.15.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
I don't know how that makes sense.
it doesn't. It doesn't. And so, also knowing that when I go and I watch my friends on YouTube and I throw them a super chat when they're doing live videos, 40% of that, 30,
Yeah.
what is it, 30 to
It's
40%
thirty
goes to
percent for
Google.
sure. Yep.
Yeah. And so like so, my friends don't even get the full donation that I send. And, like, I totally understand that YouTube is its own private company and they can take as many fees and it's voluntary to use their platform. But at the end of the day, like, I just feel like not only are they taking 40% of super chats, or 30% of super chats, but they're also taking a huge percentage of ad revenue. It's really costing the content creator so much money and so much time that they'll never get back. So we really wanted to focus on a way to kind of incentivize the content creator to make content, but also give them a place where they can monetize. So on Flote, you actually can go live, and like, I know I've sent you super chats, and the only thing that's taken out for fees wise is minor fees. Flote takes absolutely no fees whatsoever. There's super chats. Yeah, and there's also a subscription platform as well, sort of like a Patreon feature.
Well, hey guys, if you're watching this on any other platform right now, we are currently live on Flote.App right now. Just go find Ken Bozak on Flote.App and start watching it there. And stop watching me on YouTube or Twitter or wherever I'm at the moment, because I stream on multiple platforms. Because you're right, like, I end up finding out that if I only do my video on YouTube, they end up, like, pushing it to the bottom of the barrel and you don't get anything from it, and the engagement's really lacking. So I don't try to bottleneck my content to one place. I decentralize my podcast in case my soapbox gets burned out from under me by Google or Facebook.
And you should. Look what just happened to Sam Tripoli. Sam's Tripoli podcast, the Tinfoil Hat podcast, got taken off of YouTube completely with no warning. He was streaming one night, and then the next morning it was gone, taken off completely.
And that's multiple people that are involved with podcasts like that lose out on jobs because there's no more income, so there's no more outcome. Like, there's nowhere else for them, and now they have to start all over again on a new platform and hope
because they can't reach them. Yeah, exactly. So the purge is coming on YouTube. You're right, that's what all if you look on YouTube and you look up the new rules for content creators, including the COPA laws, you'll see numerous videos from people talking about how they're probably going to get their channels taken down because they're not commercially viable.
Yep.
And so
they're not approved by the advertisers. So the advertisers are what really dictate the content that's curated by the platforms 99% of the time.
Exactly. So all these content creators are getting ready and placing their content on other networks and other platforms to do exactly what you said, to decentralize their channel, to let their viewers know, hey, this is where you can find me after December 11th. And so we on Flote are getting ready for that. So it's definitely interesting to see. It sucks for these people who have built up these huge channels and are having these threatened. I mean, Dan Dix, look at what happened to Dan Dix. He had a run-in with Alphabet CEO.
Your video froze. You might. Oh, there you go. Sorry, you're back.
Are you there?
Yeah, it was just a weird image. I didn't want to cut you off, but I was like, that's a weird freeze. I should let her know.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. But Dan Dix had a run-in with Alphabet CEO at Bilderberg. And then the next week, his channel was completely demonetized overnight, and it's
you should. Well, that's the thing, is self-censorship should be somewhat taken into consideration sometimes too. If I were to have a really big following on Facebook, I wouldn't go up to Mark Zuckerberg and tell him go fuck himself. But I do see the problem with that, though. Also, I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate to the in general, because a lot of people don't have a problem with this. Like, there's cannabis content creators that have been completely deleted from existence from YouTube after they've had millions of subscribers and basically careers creating content, and that is just gone. And I think crypto potentially could see a purging of the same thing, and we should start to use other platforms other than Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, because obviously this technology is so disruptive. Everybody's an enemy to it. We've already seen it with the ads. You can't even get an ad for Flote on YouTube. They don't want it. They will say no.
Yeah, exactly. They'll completely deny you. I mean, it's not just cannabis and crypto being censored. It's not just independent media. I mean, I watch ASMR to help me fall asleep at night. And ASM artists are getting shadow banned.
They are. It's weird. Well, I think it's because the platforms are considering it, not anybody else. The platforms are considering it sexual. And because
Ah,
people are sexualizing it, they're doing something like to that effect. But some of it is just simple bubble wrap being popped, and it's I started like I have these headphones I'm using right now. I'll take them off. These are the bone conductive headphones, and ASMR with the bone conductive is so much wilder.
I tried them actually at World CryptoCon, and I was like, I don't know if I can get behind. I just have so much hair that it's really hard for it to like get through my hair. But no,
Yeah, it's not hair
it's
conductive.
it's not hair conductive. But yeah, no, it's crazy. Like YouTube is really heavily censoring. So that was the primary motivation of starting Flote. And so giving a home to these creators and giving them like a Patreon subscription model where people can subscribe to their exclusive content for Bitcoin. I mean, like every wallet comes with, or every account comes with your own Bitcoin wallet, and so I don't know. I think it's a pretty good option. We're actually implementing a way for you to buy Bitcoin right through the app.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
it's yeah. So I mean,
Oh,
we're
shout
we're
out to
definitely
King.
trying.
He just donated. I see. I
Uh,
opened up the float because I told everyone to go here. King sent me $1.99, so $2 for the hottie. Thanks, King. We got life size box in the chat. How goes it? Still has my birthday joint, dude. I'll see you in Vegas for the AVNs, man. I'm the guy. He's here. What's up? Biggs is in the chat, and thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Hey, Mike. So yeah, we got some people here watching the live stream on Flote.App. Don't
that's
forget to
awesome.
create an account, guys. I mean, we got to start using these. Well, would you consider Flote a decentralized platform, or is it just a platform that supports decentralized currencies, like with the Bitcoin and stuff?
So Float itself at the moment has the goal of decentralization. The reason why we didn't start it off as completely decentralized is because we didn't want to compromise user um, usability for uh, whatever. Like we didn't want to compromise on that. Um, but that's definitely the goal. We have like a decentralization strategy kind of outlined and in place, and so we're going to be implementing that. But right now, the only blockchain decentralized component is our Bitcoin wallet.
Got you. I saw somebody said in the chat. The guy said he can't watch and comment, but King said he's fixing that, so it'll be fixed soon. But I thought that was a funny life hack. Life size box says he's cheating. He's watching on YouTube and commenting on Float. Appreciate that. That's see,
Yeah.
life hacks, crypto edition.
Well, yeah, we are still in beta, so
Well,
like
what's the
we're
roadmap look like for Flote.app?
well, right now we have live streaming, we have several different components. The next thing we're going to be rolling out are probably community boards and a Facebook share option, because I think that will definitely help kind of people cross post. Maybe not get off Facebook altogether, but definitely cross post. Down the line, we are looking at doing storefronts. So creating a way for users to sell their merch or whatever. So that I think that will actually be a really cool option as well.
Well, I would like to incentivize the possibility for digital merch so I can sell my collectible NFTs. That way, like stickers. You know how like big YouTubers have sticker packs, and they're centralized bullshit. I don't even understand why people buy them, because I've seen where these sticker apps get deleted and all the stickers you used to own are just gone because they don't have a server anymore. So it's just NFTs. I think are going to be cool for streamers to have as like for like the people who do donate, like King. I should be able to send him an NFT as an appreciation.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean that's definitely a good idea. And definitely something I can bring up to like our team too. I actually quite like that idea.
Yeah, see, it would be cool. I really like the idea of like the interaction between the streamer and the community viewing at the same time. Like I don't think that the donations and chats and all that are really a one-way road moving forward as content creators become more like a prominent thing. Like Ninja and all these other streamers are making millions of dollars, and it's just starting to become an industry of its own as streaming gets bigger. So I would like to be able to use that give back system and tokenize something like It'd almost be like an ICO token. It doesn't mean shit, but here's a thank you for your money.
Yeah, I think that's nice. I like that idea. Who is it? Doesn't Steve Wand have a free Ross NFT?
I got one right here. Good call. I'm gonna grab it because it's right here.
I really want to like raffle those off for the next free Ross.
So it's a physical NFT actually. It's the world's first physical NFT.
Silver. Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
I can redeem the actual digital NFT if I peel off that silver, protective seal over the private key. But I actually have a physical version of the digital NFT, and I think that's really cool.
I love it. Like I said, I really want to give a few of those away for our Anarcho Vegas free Ross party next year. I think I talked to him about it, and I think he's willing to donate a few of them.
Yeah, guys, if you're watching, definitely go check out. I think it's Digitables, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I got the card right here. I don't know why I'm saying I think. I'm positive it's Digitables. I just don't remember the exact website. Yeah, it's digitable.com. This one.
There it is. Isn't Steve Wand the nicest guy? Every time you see him at a conference, like he always like gives us something, whether it be like a joint or
he's like the Santa Claus of crypto conferences.
Every time we see him, he's like, got some stuff for you. And we're like, ah.
Yeah, I love Steve. Yeah, Steve's a really good guy. I wish he would start streaming or something. He's always at these conferences and like all of them, and he knows a lot of the people in the space too, and he's really knowledgeable, but he's just that low-key attendee. We
got our Bitcoin flag from him. Did you get that one behind you from him as well?
That's from Steve Wand, baby. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a good person to know in the space. Just very giving and generous, and he honestly just wants to push the space forward.
Hey, I just wanted to say good night to the guy. Much love from Germany. Appreciate you, bro. So, I guess, is there an app or anything in the works for Flote.App? Because right now I use it on my phone, but I just save it as like a mobile browser.
A web browser?
Yeah, it looks like an app. It works like an app. I mean, it's the same difference to me. I'm just wondering is that something that you were considering, or?
So we actually have an iOS app and an Android app, but they are both in beta. So you can get the link at on our Flote page. So if you go to, let me type it in here. I think it's flote.app/Flote. And so if you look, it's just in the description there. It'll say Flote Android beta app, Flote iOS beta app.
And are these installed from third party, so you don't have to get it from the actual app store, right?
Yeah, so with iOS beta app, you have to download Test Flight first. And so that way you can become an official beta tester and help us kind of work out the kinks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then with the Android beta app, I think you do have to use your Google account to sign in.
To download the app?
To download the app, yeah.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know. Sometimes a lot of the applications that are in beta are just like a cloud link that you can just click on and it downloads, third party, and that concerns some people. So to make sure it's going through like the third party verifiers that you're using makes a lot of sense. Hey, yeah. DJ Me Popsicle's in the chat, and all he said was, "I'm scared." We're here for you, bro. You need a hug? I'll huddle you. Don't be scared. Welcome to Flote. I feel like the memes that could be created for Flote, I want to make one and I don't want to say it, but I do because I know somebody will. But whatever. The clown with the we all float down here.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that because right now we actually have a meme contest. So we have $300 in Bitcoin up for grabs. And so
that's why I said I didn't want to mention my idea, but it's I'm going to do it. Somebody might do it better. I just want to see it done because that's hilarious.
Yeah. No, it's so funny. All these memes coming out today, there must have been at least 30 of them created, and they're so funny. One is of Bill Clinton getting a massage, but right where you see his ass, it's the Flote logo, and it says it's better than a massage. And it's just, oh my gosh,
hilarious. It's like all I've been looking at all day is just like my Flote account. And it's, to be honest, like the engagement on Flote is so great. Like I know I see people saying all the time that they have more followers and more engagement on Flote than they do Twitter, where they have 3 or 4 times the amount of followers.
And that's because there's no algorithm, there's no censorship, and it's like a very chronological timeline.
Well, a lot of people should realize is like, early adopter, first in situations on platforms like this. A lot of people that are big following or have a big following on YouTube or other platforms like Twitter are just because they were early adopters of the platform. And it's a lot harder to become like a new podcaster on a platform like YouTube. But it isn't as difficult to become a content creator or X, Y, and Z on a newer platform like Flote.App because it's an early opportunistic advantage that, you'll be there before, I think there's people on DLive, that stream, and PewDiePie just moved in over there from YouTube. And that's because he has learned that, pigeonholing your content is not a good idea and has learned that earning cryptocurrency based on it. And he's the #1 streamer, period. But that's on YouTube. He is not the #1 streamer on DLive because there has been multiple people earning a following because they were there earlier. But that's what I mean with these platforms start to get those people from the other platforms. They start to evolve and move in. They will bring their following with them, and you'll reap the benefits from contributing early on.
That, and you'll get a really cool nickname, or like the usernames. So like there's, I think I saw one guy has Tom, Kingsley has King, so like you can get your good nicknames or usernames in there. So
is there a way to prevent domain squatting? Because like that would suck if somebody was just sitting on like Andreas Antonopoulos' username.
We've experienced that so far. Of course, with any platform, you are going to experience some username squatting. In the event that someone does do that, if we see that the account has not been used for a certain amount of time, and we see that it is like, if it's obvious that it's a username squat, like we'll go ahead and we'll delete that account.
Yeah.
So unless it's an active account, yeah. We don't allow that. That is against our rules. If you look on also like Flote.App /Flote, we also have our rules page. And it's like a very, very, very short list. So
the basic Zach, Drew, Club, John Red. I see you guys in the chat. I'm over at Flote.App. So if you're in the chat, go to Flote.App and find me in the chat there.
And throw Ken some Bitcoin.
Yeah, dude, make it rain some sats. What's up?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like we need to like get sponsored by Lolly or something.
Well, I wanted to segue into like that login verification thing, but with things like Civic, like I'm sure you're familiar with Civic. Using Civic as a way to get like a verified badge on Flote, because like right now it's a nightmare trying to get verified on Twitter, and then you have like fake Erin Nakamoto accounts giving away phishing. And there's not much we can do about it. And I think with these other, projects in this space, if we learn how to incorporate them and start, using the bits and pieces to build the things around each other, I think that it would be best off. Like, have you considered using like Civic as a ID verification?
So here's the thing. I personally like what Civic has been doing, and I like, you definitely, especially when you're dealing with payments, you need a verification layer of some kind. However, being that Kingsley and I are liberty minded, and the rest of our team is too, we don't really believe in that you need a government ID to verify your account. So we are coming up with a way to verify yourself through a system that does not involve a government issued ID.
Zach said this sounds like space warfare. Let's not rain satellites into Earth. What are you? Where? What?
He must be on like some really good edibles or something.
Oh man. Hey guys, again, we're streaming on Flote.App. It's Flote.App /Kenneth Bozak. slash live. I should have went with Ken Bozak, but I went with Kenneth because it sounds more professional.
It sounds very adult.
Yeah, I feel like I wanted to be Kenneth after I turned 30.
Yeah, I'll make sure to start calling you that when I see you in person, instead of bro. No, but anyway, so like we were saying, so like I really kind of want to get your feedback on like government issued verification layers. Like I know that voice is also going to have a way where you can't even get a voice account, I think, without a government issued ID. So how do you feel about all that?
Yeah, I personally don't like the system around the identification process. It's kind of scammy in every aspect of the way. It just incentivizes bad actors with counterfeit identification.
Yeah.
It doesn't really prevent much of anything, and it's an
and can we call it for what it is? Can we call it for what it is? I mean, like, government issued ID is basically just big fancy words for extortion scam.
Yeah.
You must give $100 every 6 years to the U.S. government to renew your passport. You must, go to the DMV and renew your driver's license so it's valid. That's what it is. It's an extortion scheme, and I don't know. I don't want to have our like float users
it's just it's just one of the many layers of the obedience tactics, right? Like
yeah,
just
exactly.
It's become docile obedience and conformity to a system, and it's not so much that these are extravagant roles in the system like a government issued ID, but it's those minor conformity tools that make the bigger ones kind of easier to digest, right? Like you can't walk into a store and get a pack of cigarettes with a beer this big without an ID. That's a problem. There's a problem there, but nobody has a problem with it because the security theater behind it is, it prevents children from getting cigarettes. No, it doesn't. The same way I get cigarettes when people ask me for my ID and I don't have it on me is I go outside and ask somebody to go get them for me. It's the same shit a fucking kid will do. Exactly.
Yep. So, like there are creative ways around everything.
I think that it's security theater at its finest. It costs a lot and does a little.
Right. But whereas like, I don't know, when it comes to creating a verification layer, we're really trying to come up with a better system, a better way, to do that without having to have people jump through like government hoops.
Back in the day, a Blockbuster card was good enough to cash a check at some point. It was.
That's true.
People just started to I guess lose faith in those means, but it was more and more and more conformity to the fact. And I remember using like a library card to get a state ID. So like I had to get an ID because I was a kid and I didn't have a driver's license. So I had to get like a state ID to cash a check, and I had my library card, and that was like it. And I forget something else. It wasn't like a social or birth certificate. I was a kid. It was just something else.
Right.
And that was it. I think it might even have been a book report or my grades or something, and they gave me a state ID with my name on it, and I looked at it, I was like, any one of my friends could have grabbed those things from my closet or my dresser and got an ID from the state with my name on it.
Yeah, and exactly, like how much was that?
Yeah, I think it was like $35.
Yeah, and it's just it's an extortion
probably as much
scheme.
as the check I needed to cash.
Yeah, so I mean it's crazy, but at the end of the day,
verification is important.
It's so important because, like you said, there could be a fake Erin Nakamoto. I mean, I was just fished on, I had an impersonator on Keybase who was reaching out to my whole meetup group, pretending to be me, and like they knew intimate details about me. Like people would be like, "What's your fiance's name?" Oh, and Kingsley Edwards. Oh, okay. And they would be like, "Oh yeah, Kingsley's at work. I really need some Bitcoin." And so like, not only do they know intimate details about you, they were very, very convincing. Thank God nobody sent them Bitcoin because they recognized, hey, like Erin probably wouldn't be asking for money. So like the need for verification is there. We're just trying to come up with a better and more creative solution to the problem.
I like what Civic's doing. I know that it uses a government, you have to take a picture of your driver's license, X, Y, and Z.
But don't they also have biometrics? Two?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I think that's interesting.
Because I could take my, my dad's driver's license or something when I was a kid and, scan it to get beer from a vending machine, because that's kind of what Civic was doing when I found out, what they were up to. You can just go to the vending machine and get a beer, but you can't with a driver's license because there's no 2FA. That biometrics says this is my ID and I am holding it.
Yeah. No, I honestly, I quite like what Civic is doing. I think there's a way to do it without having to, give into the state.
Yeah, and community
I'll
issue
go down with my moral.
verification too. Like communities, can issue verification with, I feel like there should be a percentage
system
of engagement. Yeah, exactly. Well, we could talk about the other side of verified social accounts, because my Twitter's been hacked before, and people were using my actual Twitter account to DM people for money and stuff, and it was concerning, because I'm like, this is my account. This could damn well have been me doing it and saying, oh no, that wasn't me. You sent money to somebody who hacked me. And I'm like, how do I, what I mean, express this? So even if you are verified, there is the issue of, the accounts being exploited. Is there any, security in place to make sure that these accounts for, Flote.App don't get, hacked by, is there, 2FAs, things like that?
We don't have a 2FA system just yet. However, one of the reasons why our platform is encrypted is, in case that does happen, first of all, when you log into, when you realize that your account is hacked, you would go and you would reset your password. Once you reset your password on your Flote account, all of your messages will actually delete itself. And so that way the hacker won't really have access to the private messages.
That, and neither will you or anybody else.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So encryption is good for a lot of things, but I really like that idea of resetting your password will totally kind of just reset the clock and kind of delete all of that. So
yeah, that's a safe security means if you have to break glass, here.
Exactly. Yeah. So, we're always looking at kind of upping our security measures and doing whatever we can so we are secure and our users do feel secure. So that is an area where we are always looking to kind of improve.
So what's Flote monetizing? How does Flote.app plan on making revenue by being a platform? If it's
it's a good question. How are we making money? How are we gonna
selling my private message data? How are you making money? Because I know that's how Facebook's doing it.
Yeah. So Facebook also makes money just on the on the ads, obviously, and a lot of people don't like that there are targeted ads on the side of their screens. But it's funny because a lot of people do. No one likes to be listened to. I think that's really kind of the scary part. Are you still there? Your video froze.
Yeah, so did yours. I'm sorry. But I was listening. Yeah, I know what you mean. If I was sending you a private message on Flote about I need a new lawnmower and I see a fucking lawnmower in the thumbnail as soon as I leave the message.
It's creepy.
Concerning and it's creepy as hell. And it happens way too often on Facebook and Twitter.
But if you go on your if you go on your Facebook profile and in the search bar you look up dining room chairs, that's fair, so or whatever. So people will sit there and they will complain about targeted ads, but a lot of people like to know, that, it's an option. You have to be able to
opt into local ads. So if my local pizza store is having a discount, I don't want to miss that. I don't want to see an ad for Papa John's. I want to see an ad for my local pizza store right next to my house.
Right. Yeah. So, it's, as long as it's voluntary, I think it's okay. Ads are totally okay. You just have to give the user the option to opt in and out.
That's why I like Brave. Brave basically deletes the ads if you want, and you can reimburse the platform by donating BAT tokens. So if somebody was using the Brave browser to watch my Flote live stream and they're not seeing the ads, they could turn on their basic attention token faucet and they could donate because they're not viewing the ads and they're taking revenue from a platform.
Interesting. I have not had the opportunity to really look into Brave and how it works. I've actually been kind of playing around with it.
Brave and Flote go together like hand in hand, like a string on a balloon, in my opinion.
Right. Well, I think that it's kind of the next step. You know, DuckDuckGo is gaining more and more users every day.
Pre-search.
Like if you want a private pre-search, giving you tokens to search the internet. I mean, I think it's the next step, and I think people are definitely waking up. Masses of people are waking up, to the idea of privacy, and I think Brave definitely has its place. I need to play around with it a little bit better, but.
Yeah, I'm using Brave right now with Flote running, and it's just a way, if people send me Bitcoin through the Flote.App, or if they want to donate basic attention through the Brave browser, and there's, I just try to use as many of the tools as I can that, in the background of everything I do, just like the legacy system kind of implements for people and take all the cuts for doing so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Do you have any other questions about Flote? I know that you are still kind of new to the platform.
Yeah. I was going to bring that up as like a new user to the platform. Posting, if I could post on Flote and then it would just go to Facebook and Twitter and things like that, then I would probably use it more often for that means, just as a way to kind of as a blowhorn for my content. Yeah. But right now I use it to stream so I can earn from the tips and stuff like that. But it's not saved. So when my live stream's over, it just looks like I have 0 contributions to Flote, even though I've been streaming on it all month.
Right. That's something that we are going to be working on in the future. That like saving
people's live streams is definitely a huge thing. It's also really expensive.
Interesting.
That's something that we will be implementing in the future. It's on our roadmap. However, there is an option where you can save the stream. I think you can actually record the stream right from Zoom and then upload that as like a video. So that's kind of like the option, the solution to that problem. But you can also share your content that you put on Flote on Twitter right now. That is an option in your settings that you can set. Like I said, Facebook is another thing. We're working on that. So hopefully that'll be done probably in the next month or so.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So Twitter works. Facebook's coming up soon. Oh, I can go right to the super chat section on here. That's pretty cool. I just wanted to play around with the website and see if anything came up.
Yeah.
And let's see. Yeah, that's really cool. So the chat is separate from super chat. So I guess like as a content creator, if you have a big following and you can't keep up with the chat, you could switch over to the super chat and be able to, kind of incentivize donations through engagement that way.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, we really kind of wanted to give content creators just different ways to monetize.
Yeah, I like the platform. I think it looks really clean. I like that it doesn't have I like the minimalist look to it. It's very clean. It looks. I don't use the beta app. Like I said, I use the browser thing. I do that for almost every website though. Even like exchanges and stuff, I save as kind of like a bookmark on my phone's home screen, and it feels as good as any other platform that's out there. It's not laggy or buggy. It's very clean.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And of course we are in beta, so there are bugs that exist. And if you run into any of them, I urge you, please don't throw your hands up in the air and be like, this doesn't work. Please email me at support@flote.app and let me know what the problem is so I can fix it for you and we can move on.
I know you have the meme competition right now. So if you guys are meme artists, get up in there because there's some Bitcoin to be won. Is there a bounty system for finding bugs or things or anything like that, like creating an account and getting a file? I don't know. I'm just wondering if there's any bounty system out there.
No, we don't have a bounty system in place, but that's actually not a bad idea. Maybe we'll kind of implement one. That's pretty interesting. Right now it's just, hey, if you become a beta tester, you run into a bug, just email us so we can fix it. And, we'll build this platform up to be the best it can be. The thing I really like about Flote.App right now is our users are really invested. You know, and like they really want to see this platform succeed, and so like they're not driven by any like monetary incentives.
So when
they're
Float
really
token.
Oh yeah, it's happening. We're thinking about doing a token. We're not quite sure what that looks like. We have a basic outline, and we are still in discussions about it. But we're trying to figure it out. The thing that I don't think that you personally realize or anyone realizes is that our wallet is actually our own. So we've actually built this wallet, and we're going to be trying to figure out a way to incentivize our users with ads and also you know, just other things that are going to be released throughout the platform throughout the year.
I did not know you built your own wallet. That's a lot of work. I heard that it's almost as difficult as building an exchange, especially when it comes to like, you know, weird laws, regulations, and like app terms and services and stuff.
I can't speak on that because I personally was not involved in building the wallet. That was more our devs, and I'm not a super technical person.
Most wallets just use other wallets' APIs and build off of what they've done, and I do worry about the chain effect of an issue, you know, getting, you know, kind of passed down the line. If there's an issue in the original code and everyone's building these wallets off of one wallet's open API, it could be an issue widespread instead of, you know, very, very central.
I can definitely see that for sure. I'll have to get you on like maybe an interview with like our CTO or even Kingsley to kind of talk about you know, just our wallet. So like before we actually decided we were going to be a social network, we were planning on just releasing our own wallet. Like that was kind of our idea.
Well,
That's
I like
what
the
we actually
subscription based. Like that's a really good concept for a wallet for sure.
Yeah. So, and I just think it's genius. Like I love that people can pay for exclusive content, you know, using like that monthly feature.
Yeah, it's
so,
like a reoccurring donation.
Exactly. And so that's going to get even more interesting when we finish integrating our the system where you can purchase Bitcoin directly through our wallet there. So
a lot
that's
of
going to
people
be really...
use Simplex. I don't know if you were looking at them, but that's one of the solutions a lot of wallets utilize for purchasing crypto with like Visa or bank or fucking PayPal, I think even.
Yeah. Oh God, PayPal's the worst. But
Yeah.
no, we had a call with Simplex. They're a great company. I think we actually went with Wire.
Oh, cool. I've heard of Wire too. They're more suit and tie than Simplex. So okay, I see what yous are up to.
Yeah. I think it just ended up working better for us. So that integration will be done hopefully shortly, and you know, people will be able to actually pay for their content. You know, if they don't have Bitcoin in their wallet or they don't have a Bitcoin wallet period, they can actually just hook up their bank account and the USD amount will be pulled from their bank account to pay for their monthly donation. So
like a Patreon with a streaming service built in.
Exactly.
It would be cool if I did a live stream like this on Flote.App and I had it set to where it's sort of like a buy wall, right? Like super chats only, but it doesn't matter if it's one Satoshi or whatever. But it's sort of like contributors only live stream sort of a thing, or like super chat, you know, live stream only type of deal. That would be cool. See like a social platform with sort of like a paywall in the middle.
Exactly. Well, what we're trying to be is like, we're trying to eliminate the middleman when it comes to transactions. I actually kind of wanted to talk to you because I think we need to get all your friends who are adult creators on Flote, because I know that they are being really messed with on Twitter. I know that they PayPal just removed the option of being paid.
They pulled out of Pornhub, which is the pun of the century.
Yeah. So all of these adult content creators, you know, no longer have a paywall.
For sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. So let your friends know there are no fees on Flote.
I will. You know, it's the thing is a lot of the adult content creators don't stray too far from platforms that they're already used to. Is because they're worried about terms and service agreements, and they don't want to have to sift through every platform's terms and services to see if they post something, if they'll be demonetized or if they'll be banned or whatever. So it's kind of on Flote's end then to maybe market in that sense of there's no discrimination of any content. It's censorship sort of community based, I would say, instead of resistant.
Right.
Stuff like that, because the community sort of regulates itself on Flote more so than like user. Like you said, with the adult content, if somebody's going too far, the community would make sure that something was done. Not so much somebody in the chat, I believe it was I can't remember, was Life Size. Yeah, Life Size Box said rules are okay, rulers not so much. So
Yeah.
Flote, I kind of feel like, is just providing rules for the community to kind of enforce on their own, really.
I mean, someone actually said something about Flote, and they said this is the way social media should have stayed. This is the way that social media used to be. Everything was run and regulated by the community.
Well, then you're talking about basing some potential revenue off of advertisers and things to that effect, and that could be where Flote now has to bow to some of their terms and services a little bit to these advertisers, right? Because if the advertisers come in, and that's where the Twitter and Facebook, like you said, were originally community based, but then companies came in, started paying for these ad spaces, and that dictated the future of the platform pretty much overnight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. So there's still a lot to implement and a lot to think through when it comes to running a social networking site. But we're up for it, and we're excited, and we just kind of want to give a place to those who, want a site that isn't going to censor them, isn't going to screw with their monetization, isn't going to sell their data to third-party companies. I mean, we wanted to kind of do the right thing, and so that's kind of what we're focused on.
What's funny is you mentioned the adult content creators, and this is a similar type of setup for what SpankChain was doing, but SpankChain's actually, they're not doing their live stream platform anymore. So all the girls and guys and people that were creating content for their live stream on Spank have no platform. It's completely gone. So
why is that?
You guys, well, I think it was because Spank Live was a beta concept to kind of prove what SpankChain, the blockchain, was capable of with their wallet and the tipping through microtransactions and things like that. So I think it was just it was supposed to be kind of just a concept piece. It wasn't probably supposed to go too much farther than that. And a lot of the content creators that were helping with the beta process were putting in a lot more effort than I think the platform projected they would ever be able to give back. So they kind of, I think, came to that conclusion. But maybe jump into the SpankChain Discord and Telegram and let them know that there's a platform where they could live stream and earn Bitcoin tips.
Right. Yeah, no, it's a great idea. Yeah. And for no fees taken out, I think that's huge for the content creators themselves. So yeah, I'll for sure do that. Thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, no problem. Definitely, I'm just sitting here looking at like the streaming platform and the way the chat and the super chats and everything. And like, this is how streaming should be. Very simple, no middlemen, stuff like that. Like, people try to super chat or whatever on Twitch, and it's like 50 fucking clicks. It just deters the engagement.
Why is that? Like, I've actually never experienced, I've never watched a stream on Twitch before.
They want you to like link your card or buy something, and then you have to buy these other things. Like, they have their own centralized currency called bits, and they have different versions of their centralized currencies that have different values that you can
send. So it's just basically, it's not very user-friendly.
It's so not user-friendly, but I think maybe they tried to gamify it so it feels like you're playing a video game while you're donating, but it's just very cumbersome in my opinion.
Gotcha. I mean, yeah, it's funny because like a lot of these companies are, they create things, it feels like, for engineers themselves, like it's just super overcomplicated, and it doesn't have to be. Like, these companies have so much money, and it's not that easy to use their innovations. It's wild to me, it's just like simplification is the answer. oversimplify everything.
Well, we have 7 people right now watching on Flote.App, and that's cool because it's like the first time I'm really telling people to go here and watch it. But maybe I could start streaming on here, just here and see if we can get more people to view it.
I hope so. It's really easy, to add Bitcoin to your wallet. Like if you go to your wallet and you hit, receive, it'll pull up your, not only your address, but your QR code, and you would just transfer money in from an existing Bitcoin wallet just so you have it there for the users who are going to be tipping their content creators. If you have any questions, I'm pretty much available almost 24/7.
Well, if you can't answer this one, maybe King can. I see he's in the chat. I was just curious about the wallet. Is there any protection for the sender? So I can't, if I see, somebody sends me some Bitcoin, if I send you Bitcoin on Flote, I don't necessarily want you to know how much Bitcoin I have in my wallet.
Right.
So like something like Samurai Wallet or other wallets that have, incorporated technologies where if I send you a transaction, it's somewhat masked in the sense you can't really see where exactly it was coming from, so you can't determine exactly how much Bitcoin I have from my sending address.
That's interesting. Hold on one second. Let me find out if King is actually, if he has headphones in and is listening to sound. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I just saw him in the chat. He said something to Life Size Box about the iOS app.
Are you listening to the audio? Oh, okay. So Ken is actually asking you a question. And he's asking,
I saw him in the chat. Yeah, this is awkward.
No, it's fine. Well, he's here. Like, I want him to be able to answer. So he said that, is there any way that if I send you Bitcoin, like there's a way for me to protect, like, I don't want Ken to see, or I don't want the person I'm sending Bitcoin to see basically what I have in my wallet. So King said that we don't have that yet, but we will be implementing that.
All right, cool.
So.
Yeah, so that's just me on my tinfoil hat, like I try to think of the end user that's the most skeptical and what might prevent them from actually utilizing something, and like that might be something like if I send somebody a super chat on YouTube and they can see how much I have in my bank account, I might not be super chatting people.
No, absolutely. And that's super, privacy in general is very, very important to us. So we will be, implementing any and all privacy features, whether that be implementing Monero, however we can do it, we will be implementing that in the future.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be cool to see multiple currency in the wallet as an option.
Yeah.
That's a community thing too, right? So like if there's a Ripple content creator, they're probably not going to use Flote.App because their followers don't use Bitcoin.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so and that's something that we are going to be adding in the future, different support for different coins. We've even been looking at a couple of stable coins as well to kind of make it easy on the user. We just don't want to deal with fiat.
Yeah, no, I can't blame you for that. I mean, I really would hope that more platforms would just ignore the fiat on and off ramp completely. Just ignore it and force people to adopt. Like Apple did with removing the phone jack. They didn't ask anybody shit. They just did it. They said you're going to do things and you're going to evolve. They basically shook their customers and said you're going to evolve. And I would hope more platforms start doing that when they look at, how cumbersome and how just conforming a platform has to be just to get a fiat off and on ramp. It could be detrimental to the roadmap at points.
It can be, but I think that giving your users, like telling them, hey, we don't operate in USD. We will never operate in USD. But here, let us show you and have an easy way to on-ramp you onto crypto. Like as long as you have someone on your team and who's like super dedicated to teaching people, sitting on, on the computer till all hours of the night answering questions, but also having a very easy access way to show people that it's not hard. Crypto is not difficult.
You're 100% right with the adult entertainers using this platform, because if anybody teaches end users more how to use the platform's currencies, it's the adult industry. Like if you ever go to like Chatterbait or My Free Cams, they basically have to baby talk all the people onto how to get their money into a platform and send tokens. So like,
Oh, really?
they're the best on rampers in any industry is the adult industry. That is hilarious.
See?
All right, so
And
everybody,
if they're hot
you're
girls,
watching,
they'll
our
definitely
mission
guys.
is to get adult content on Flote.App. So your mission, if you so choose it, guys, will be rewarded in a bounty of nudes, I suspect.
Get all your favorite porn stars on Flote. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's hilarious. And so I guess we could wrap things up. Is there anything that you wanted to touch on before we go?
No, we just really kind of wanted to get the message out. Thanks for letting me talk about it. You know, we just think it's the future. Bitcoin's the future. Crypto's the way. Decentralized technologies are I don't see another way out of this this game that we're in. Between governments, and it's just we want to be able to give people an out. We want to give them a way to get back to the way that things used to be, without the crazy algorithms, without the demonetizations, without the censoring free speech. So if you're into all that and you are into liberty, join Flote.App and create a meme so you can win some freaking Bitcoin.
All right, so if you're watching this, here's your opportunity to use my $300 Bitcoin meme idea. Make content creating great again.
Mm-hmm.
Make that a meme. Make social media great again. Something along those lines. I want to see Trump memes on social media, guys.
Trump memes. There have been a couple, and they're pretty funny. But no, that's a really good one. So feel free to steal Ken's idea, and let's get going.
Shout out to the chat I ignored. I'm sorry, Club, Zach. Hey, Christian, I was in the Flote.App chat. Sorry about that. I see Life Size and DJ Me Popsicle were popping back and forth. Hey, J.A., what's up? Shout out to Big Connect. Appreciate everybody in the live chat, everybody stopping by. Go ahead and sign up for Flote.App and follow me. I'll be doing some live streaming on there as well. So, Erin, I appreciate you, and I will see you in Vegas in a couple months, actually.
All right, so I'm having a crypto New Year's Eve party, and if you're not there, I'm going to throw a fit.
Crypto New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tight.
I know, it only leaves you.
Well, no, the thing is see, this is the thing with Vegas. The flights are relatively cheap, but finding like a cheap place to stay just for a night is like ridiculous with the hotel fees and everything else. Even Airbnb has to like give hotel fees now. It's annoying.
Yeah, well, I might be able to help you out with that. So just DM me if you end up booking a flight. I might be able to either offer you up my couch.
If you have a couch, I'll do it, and we'll just say Flote sponsored it, and we'll make it a thing.
Let's do it. Honestly, I love hanging out with you. You're always like the life of the party every time you come out to Vegas, and I really appreciate you.
Vegas brings out the party in me. Trust me. Kenny love a Vegas.
Good times.
I think Vegas loves me too, so it's a mutual thing. All right, so hey, Life Size, much appreciated. Anytime. I love how he put Bozak with a Z on purpose.
Is that Mike Groove?
Yeah. I'll see him in Vegas when I'm there too, for sure.
He's the best. I love him. But no, thanks for this podcast, man.
There you go. You're back. You're welcome, and thanks for building Flote and giving me a platform to actually earn Bitcoin off of, because every single platform that any content creator can utilize to talk a fuck about Bitcoin, they can't really earn Bitcoin. Like, I know I'll bring up some of the mentionables. There's BitTube and DLive and SoMe and all these platforms, but they all have nothing but their own currencies. And it's not so much using Bitcoin. So I appreciate you guys for doing that. And I do hope that you do find a way to utilize the platform in a way to create a utility token that can keep it going in a decentralized way.
Right. And we will. We definitely have some strategies kind of locked away, and things that we'll be implementing in the near future. So stay tuned for some exciting developments.
All right, we'll do. And hey, Mike, I'll hit you up about New Year's Eve in Vegas, bro, because Yeah, adventures must be had. Erin, thank you. Give Erin a kiss for me. And I think this is the first time we're doing this, so publicly, congratulations to both of you. And I wish your love much bounty.
Thank you. Yeah, we're talking about putting our marriage on the blockchain. We're not going to get married through the state because that kind of goes against everything that we believe in. And
my bro Dave was the first dude to get married on the blockchain. I can introduce
I
you to him.
I know him, Dave
Cool.
Monduras. Yeah,
yes, yeah. I met him and his wife, and they're fucking amazing people. And then I found out they were married on the blockchain, and I was just like, adopt me.
Yeah, please. So that's definitely something that we are looking into. We're talking to multiple different like companies, or at least.
Is that something? I think that's like a union on the blockchain, right? BitNation or something like that.
Yeah, so I've looked that up. Isn't that David's company?
I'm not sure now.
They're doing something. Yeah. I know Anthem Gold has reached out to us and said, like, use our blockchain for your marriage contract. So it's pretty fucking awesome to see. I told Kingsley, I was like, if I can't find one sponsor for our wedding, I said, you have my permission to divorce me. So
well, I think Anthem would be the best route to go. You could hang out with Logan in the Cayman Islands with the team and really get to know what they're up to, because I think one of the most underappreciated projects in this space, I think, is Hercules blockchain, but that's because Anthem and the whole team, they're not like the pump and dumper type, so they don't really promote much. But I was in Canada eating fruit that was on the blockchain. As far as supply chain goes, you could scan the fucking fruit and find out where it came from and the history, and it was just underappreciated stuff, man.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say Hercules. Hercules is a great guy. Anthem is easily just kind of one of the best people
I love his wife
there.
too. I'm brain farting on her name. Cynthia. Yeah, I got to hang out with her in Vegas a little bit at their booth. This one right here, this is for you, King. This guy, this is for you.
He'll love that. Is that a Decred tattoo? Nice. I didn't even know you had that. How do you feel about Dash? Is that new, Bitcoin Talk Radio?
This is old. Woo. I wasn't prepared. Okay. What'd you say?
I said, how are you feeling about Dash these days?
I still have a lot of high hopes for Dash. I think Dash may be a B2B solution more so than Bitcoin, because of potential like regulations that companies have to follow that are a lot different than what the public have to follow. Mm-hmm. Privacy means a lot more to companies like Apple and Samsung than I think people really understand. Like the tech industry counter trades on physical devices a lot. So Apple will buy a shit ton of these processors, and Samsung will see that. So then Samsung figures out how to incorporate it, because obviously Apple has, and it becomes an issue. So I think that business solutions for these things may go to Dash in that sense, because they could opt into a private transaction for things, but not by default. So they can use it, for other means without worrying about being too private from the government in a sense, or, whatever. But I think that there's a lot happening that people don't follow with Dash, as far as like even Alt36, like they're working with the cannabis industry, very low key, but it's there. Like Dash and the cannabis industry are making moves.
That's what I like about Dash. I feel like they make their moves very silently, but they do good things. I know that they have an open house on the 7th of December in Phoenix. So if anyone's in Phoenix, they can kind of look at that. I can send you the information if you're interested. Just DM me.
All right, cool. All right, guys, we'll hit up Erin Nakamoto on Flote.App or Twitter or Facebook or, I don't know, anywhere really. I mean, just hit her up. Jeez. Yeah. And you can download the beta. Just visit Flote.App/float, right?
Yep, and you'll find the beta links there. And yeah, just become a beta tester. Help us kind of test out the app, search out the bugs, and just, be on the platform from the beginning.
All right, guys, we're out of here. As always, have a day.
Bye. Thanks, Ken.
Thank you. Shout out to my sponsors of the podcast, which is ironic as fuck at the moment, Shomi.social. Check out Shomi.social and Brave Bravo. Get paid to write reviews, comment on reviews, BravoCredit.com. Whew, I got too many sponsors, guys. Shout out to MonarToken.io, the complete crypto solution available for Android and iOS devices. Check out their reoccurring and subscription-based crypto model in wallet today. And as always, big shout out to the Divi Project. That's diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and master nodes. Mom, I'm a shill.